Guardians, Zeus here, and today we need to talk about defense. I ran Fluffy on arena defense and watched attack after attack collapse. The reason isn't obvious at first glance, but once you see how this team works, you'll understand why the meta is shifting right now. If you're playing Hero Wars Alliance on Android, the New Year Rewards Carnival 2026 on Huawei AppGallery is a great way to get extra value from your in-game purchases. From January 12th to March 31st, 2026, you can earn 25% rewards on eligible purchases. For every €1 or equivalent you spend, you receive 1 gem. These gems can be redeemed for limited time coupons, such as €2.50 for 10 gems or €25 for 100 gems. The more you play and spend, the more gems you collect, helping you save on future purchases. Gems are not granted when using Huawei points, and only the cash amount spent counts toward rewards. To join, simply download Hero Wars Alliance through Huawei AppGallery. Your game progress is completely safe, just sign in and continue playing. This is a limited time New Year event, so don't miss it. A few days ago, I had a conversation with a player many of you know on Discord as Crazy Jhu. He showed me several of his arena battles, and honestly, those fights planted a seed in my head. Seeing how his defenses performed pushed me to rethink one thing in particular, using Arachne together with Fluffy on defense. At the same time, I'll be honest, I completely forgot to check the arena for a while. The last few days were high intensity work for me, fully focused on chapter boss fights. I was testing different solutions, trying to help players who were stuck and simply couldn't kill certain bosses no matter what they tried. Arena kind of went into the background. Today, when I finally opened Arena again, and checked the defense history, something immediately stood out. I saw a long list of attacks. And only one player managed to win. That's when I knew this setup deserved a closer look. The team composition is the following. Electra with Oliver. Fluffy with Axel. Arachne with Mara. Orion with Chorus. Augustus with Albus, and the team pet is Chorus. Now, there is one adjustment I personally believe makes sense here. Augustus, in my opinion, should be patronaged by Biscuit, especially in scenarios where Sebastian is present. Biscuit gives extra protection against Sebastian's ultimate and makes this setup even more stable in real arena conditions. Let's break down the roles, because this team works only if you understand what each hero is doing and why they fit together so well. Electra is one of the key pillars here. Her ultimate creates a powerful shield that absorbs incoming damage for the entire team. And the important part, when that shield is finally destroyed, it doesn't just disappear. It explodes into massive damage. So enemies are punished for doing exactly what they're supposed to do, breaking through defenses. Fluffy is the backbone of the entire composition. His defensive skill blocks basic attacks, which already shuts down a lot of physical pressure. On top of that, he can resurrect allies when the fight starts going wrong, and most importantly, he cancels enemy ultimates. As we discussed in previous content, when Fluffy cancels Sebastian's Ode to Serenity, it opens the door for control heroes to completely take over the fight. And this is exactly where Arachne comes in. Crazy Jhu is the reason I started testing Arachne here. Until now, I was using her almost exclusively in offensive setups. But this team proved something important, Arachne works extremely well on defense too. Her role is simple, but deadly. She stuns the enemy team, disrupts their timing, and creates windows where your damage dealers can finish the fight before the opponent even recovers. Once control starts rolling, it becomes very hard to stop. Orion's role is often misunderstood, so let's be clear. Yes, he provides magic penetration for the entire team, which is crucial here because it allows Electra's damage and Fluffy's effects to hit without being reduced. But Orion is not just a support hero. His missiles deal serious damage on their own, especially in longer fights. He contributes both utility and raw damage, which makes him irreplaceable in this setup. Augustus is the final piece of the puzzle. He has extremely strong synergy with Orion. As Orion reduces enemy magic defense, Augustus starts stacking superconductivity. Once enemy magic defense is pushed down to 0, Augustus converts magic damage into pure damage. At that point, even Isaac-based teams stop being a real threat. The usual counters simply don't work the same way anymore. There's another brutal detail here that many players overlook. Even if the enemy comes very close to eliminating your team, Fluffy can still turn the fight around. If he has accumulated enough marks of death, his death itself can wipe out the enemy team. And because Orion's magic penetration is active, the damage goes through at full value, no magic reduction, no safety net for the opponent. Looking at my defense logs, I noticed a clear pattern. Many players were attacking this setup using Sebastian with Axel as the team pet. And this is no longer a safe option. Against control-heavy defenses like this one, Axel simply doesn't protect you enough. When you see Fluffy and Arachne together, Axel becomes a liability. Chorus is the correct response here, because he increases your resistance to control effects and gives you a much better chance to avoid being chain stunned. One thing is absolutely clear at this point. First came Cascade. Then Electra. Now Fluffy. The meta has shifted heavily toward magic-focused teams. Physical setups are no longer dominating the way they used to. If you want to stay competitive, both your offense and your defense need to adapt. Ignoring this shift is the fastest way to start losing fights you used to win comfortably. To wrap this up, the big takeaway is simple and powerful. Fluffy is no longer just a defensive nuisance, he's a meta-defining force. When you combine him with the right pieces, especially control from Arachne and magic pressure from heroes like Electra, Orion, and Augustus, you create a defense that doesn't just survive. It punishes every mistake. Ultimate cancellation, constant stuns, magic penetration, and pure damage all working together, that's why this setup is breaking attacks that used to feel safe. Now I want to hear from you. Have you tested Fluffy on defense yet? Have you tried him with Arachne, or faced a setup like this in Arena? Drop your experiences, wins, and even your failed attacks in the comments. That's how we all get sharper and stay ahead of the curve. If this breakdown helped you see the meta more clearly, support the channel by hitting the like button. Subscribe if you want to stay one step ahead with real testing, real results, and no guesswork. And don't forget to turn on notifications, because the meta is moving fast, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Adjust your teams, rethink your defenses, and play smarter, not harder. Salute and friendship.